What is it? Give me the charging equipment. Charging 10 amps. Clear. We're charging? Hey everyone, welcome to the Electric Supercar channel featuring JerryRigEverything's electric converted Humvee. This will be our final episode. We'll finally get charging working. Before we get into the episode, I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Surfshark. Not that long ago, I actually was a victim of identity theft, and it is pretty awful. So that's why I'm glad to be partnering with Surfshark. One of the key things that I love is the safety and security that they offer. Surfshark is a VPN or virtual private network. This can prevent tracking, it can protect your privacy, secure your identity, it has really strong encryption, it actually has a kill switch. It never stores any logs. You can get this on unlimited devices, so you can browse privately and encrypt all your internet activity. Let's say you want to stream your favorite show, Barbie, Princess and a Pop Star.
This adventure rockin'. Make a selection whenever you're ready.
Hey, that's private. You can do this in comfort, knowing that everything is privately secured. Maybe you don't want everybody knowing that you don't know everything. Like how to build an electric car. Hey, no looking. Might be pretty embarrassing if something like that got out. They've given me a promo code where you can get 83% off and your first 3 months free. Remember, it's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code. I almost forgot. I bet you guys almost forgot. We have some giveaways to get to. Let's check out our contest winners. I kind of feel like the only real way to do this is just to do true random number. So I'll have Google help me out. Okay, Google, pick a random number between 1 and 1,000.
984, 362, 72.
72. Okay, Google, pick a number between 1 and 1,000.
895.
All right, we got it. We'll see who the winner is. 895. Big P Taste. Gonna use that multimeter on my farm for repairs. Coming right to you. 72. See how many people come back. So we have Orion Tech, Gitcash, Mitchell Holly, George Ningomba, and Metalworker, and Paul Yodelis. So that is insane that we got a number and we got, 6 people that guessed that same number. So good thing we set up tiebreaker rules. We'll see how many comments these people have. So the winner there for number 72 looks like it is Metalworker. All right, next number, let's see, 362. Okay, looks like that one's maybe a little easier. We just have one guy, Mike JF. And the last one, 984. Ariana Thomas. So can I just tell you how cool our viewers are? Here's Ariana wanting to get it for her husband. Talk about top-notch woman. Literally, we got the best viewers here. If you are not one of our lucky contest winners, all is not lost. I'll leave a link to the previous video where you can figure out how to pick up yours. Fixing this Hummer has been anything but easy. To begin with, when Zack reached out to me, I thought, you know what, I think I've got the skills I can do this. And in my head, I was thinking this would probably take like about a month. And it has taken a lot longer. I've had to do a lot more research and have failed many, many times. And the camera was on so you guys could see it all. Needless to say, my swear jar got pretty full. But now, on to the final chapter. Swapping out the display seemed to work, so we're going to try the same thing with the charger. So one of the reasons I went for swapping out the charger is the AC wires going from the J1772 plug to the charger, they all had good isolation. However, when I plugged in the plug to the onboard charger itself, it created a short between the ground and one of the power wires. So that made me think that potentially there was a fault there. To send it back to the factory would be all the way to Germany and it would take maybe 2 months. I took the other charger out. We're gonna put this one in. The company supplied me with these wires already attached. For now, we'll go ahead and get these other cables spliced in and see if we can start charging. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to wire this on the outside of the vehicle this time. So I'm going to go ahead and make some of the connections and get everything ready for charging, but this way it'll be a lot more accessible. I was about to cut this. I need to make sure there's no high voltage. All right, the previous charger had outputs that you could use for an LED. This one does not. May have to see if we can do something with the BMS. I think it's got some outputs. But for now, we're just labeling these and gonna put them away. I think I made all the connections. This one only needs the CAN high and CAN low, which was already there, so I spliced that in high voltage out, as well as the AC voltage in. And then the only other wire it's got is this one, which is for, it's at 12 volts for the BMS. So before we had to use the AC/DC power supply, and now this one will just replace that. I give it like 25% chance. My guess is there's still something that's not quite compatible with the BMS. And if that's the case, we'll just get an EV charge controller, and that should do the trick. All right, so this is the good signal. This is what we're looking for. And we've got that one working here on the blue car. So this charger does not put out the LED. Really what we're doing is we're gonna be listening for the fan to kick on, and that'll tell us that it's charging. Yeah, basically it's the same as before, where over there we've got a green light, which means it's connected, but not flashing, that means it's charging. All right, so there is one more thing that I forgot to do here in the settings, is we have to change the charger from the Vallejo to, this is now an Elcon. So I don't know if that will help, but definitely won't hurt. Well, when we switched it to Elcon, it says it wants to communicate at 250 kilobits per second, which is going to cause issues. So yeah, we'll have to see what to do about that. The Orion BMS has a second CAN that it can use, and I can operate the charger on the 250 kilobits per second rate that it needs to. But right now, the Orion can provide one of the resistors, but there is no other resistor. The sad thing is the charger had a resistor in it, and I took it out because I thought that'll be too many resistors on that CANBUS. Now I'm gonna have to add one back, and that one I sadly destroyed. So I'll buy some more and get that second CAN system working. All right, I'm just doing some temporary wiring. I've got the CAN going here to the charger, and I've also got the terminating resistor here. So I think we're about there. I just need to reprogram the BMS. We'll get to try it again. I'm gonna say 2% chance it'll work. Again, we got green that says it's connected, but no charging. Okay, change one more setting. We'll give it a 3% chance. Yeah, again, it's just the communication. The BMS is just never telling me anything to turn on. So the Orion BMS seems to be really struggling to send the charge command. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go a different route and get an EV charge controller. This will give the same signal, but instead of coming from the BMS, it'll come from the electric vehicle charge controller. Here we have the electric vehicle charge controller. This is from Thunderstruck. We're gonna see if this will help us with our charging issues. We just have ground, ignition, go, no go loop. So if there's something that's not good, it'll prevent it from charging. CAN high and CAN low. Got the 12 volts in, and we got the pilot and proximity. So I think if we get all those hooked up, we'll be getting close. Digging in the center battery box here, hopefully for one last time. I'm gonna get to the same wires that supply the BMS, so ground, the keyed ignition, as well as the 12 volts always on. I can also access the CAN wires, as well as the pilot and proximity wires. So pretty much everything I need is gonna be in here. The other thing is I will probably take over the space that the AC to DC converter is in right now. We'll no longer be using that, as the charge controller will now be turning things on and off. Hopefully we've got the electric vehicle charge controller working. So we're gonna reconnect the 12 volt battery and see if we get some good signs of life. So what we're hoping for is there's an indicator light here. We're hoping that that gives us a good sign. Go ahead and do this one. All right, we're gonna see if we can connect to it and guess how many errors there are. Yeah, this is not liking it. So far we can't even connect it. That could be just a simple power issue, or maybe we don't have the right connection settings. All is not lost. Got green flashing light. Apparently we just needed the ignition on. I thought because we had always power, it would be good enough to chat with, but I guess you have to have at least the keyed power on as well. So we'll see what this shows us. We just disabled the CAN termination resistor. I have just configured the max voltage, max current, as well as when the cycle stops. One of the last things I needed to do was this guy. So change it from the Elcon to the Thunderstruck charge controller. So now I think we should be able to change the charge controller, and these guys hopefully will be talking. Although we are not using the BMS to control the charger, we would still like to use its safety features to be able to shut off the charge if something should occur. And right now it's still not wanting to talk very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to utilize the charge enable output. So basically if it does not want the charge to occur, it'll switch off. Otherwise it stays on. We're going to use that in a relay, and that way we can still have the BMS control it, but not have to deal with the CAN interface. All right, we've got the solid green light there. We just had to change the BMS to a loop style. We're just trying this to see if we can charge. After we get this charged, then we can change some of the bells and whistles. Okay, you hear that really annoying sound? That is actually a really good sound. That sound means I've figured out the loop function and the BMS seems to be communicating that effectively. So instead of relying on the CAN communication, we're gonna rely on the loop communication, simply using a output from the BMS that determines if it's okay to charge. That output will then go to a relay, and as long as the relay's good, charge will be good. All right, this has got a function to kind of record the pilot and proximity. So the interface that I feel like I've been struggling with. So we're gonna record that. This will be the first time we try to charge. Again, my confidence is not high. I give it like 20% chance. Holy sh**. Oh, it's working! Oh, no way! All right, I'm gonna keep this going for a little bit, make sure nothing catches fire. That bad boy's making a lot of sound, that's good. Over here, look at that. We're at 29 amps. That's awesome. All right, so that was with the car on, so we're just gonna do it again to see if it will work with the car off. Yes. That is so awesome. Oh, that has been so long. All right, so I believe we've been charging for about an hour and 20 minutes, and we've added about 9.5, call it 10 kilowatt hours. And Zack's Humvee here, it's got about 100 kilowatt hour pack. All right, so it's kind of in the 50s here in the garage. And oh, it's hard going back and forth. 66, 83. So that's kind of right along those fins is kind of the warmest spot. They really doesn't even feel warm. 20 to 30 degrees above kind of just surrounding temperature. That's after it's been going for a couple hours. So I think we should be good. It's got its own thermal safety system. So if it gets going too hot, it'll shut down by itself. It's 62. I just like to get some of the temperature measurements just so I feel comfortable with all the connections. All right, now that we got this bad boy working, I've got to fix 2 wires, maybe 3. So one is there's just a ground wire that I've got coming over here. So I need to find a good ground wire under the car. Another one, Zack had this LED right here that you probably saw red all the time because it would never charge. I'm gonna see if I can tap into that. There's an output wire from the electric vehicle charge controller that I believe we can get to light up that LED. Also, I wanna take this back to Zack, and he's got, I think, some special plans for mounting this. So I'm just gonna temporarily mount it with some of the previously installed plates. I gotta get this guy covered back up. We're getting really close. All right, I was also connected a few wires, figured some things out, and I was able to get the LED light working. So I'll show you that. So you plug it in, it goes, starts flashing when it starts charging. And then when you stop charging, it stays blue for just a second and then goes off. So I hope Zack likes that. And I've got the ground no longer coming here. I've got another wire that comes out of the back of that plug there. So we're all set on wiring. I'm gonna try and get things a little tidy and out of the way and on the mounting plate so we can drive it around. Right off my head. It is so hard to film under here, but so here's what we've got. We've got the charger here. I've got a bolt there and a bolt there. So that's really what's holding it, but to kind of stabilize it, I've got a couple zip ties. Again, this is all temporary because I think Zack wants to do something special. And I just kind of tied all the cables out of the way. Just make sure it's not getting tangled up in the drive shaft. So I think we're good. I'll try charging one more time, just make sure we're good. I think we're ready to go. All right, one last time. I'm really hoping one last time. Make sure I didn't mess anything up. That is the sweet sound of charging. This project will be the end of me. We were all good. We were done. We were buttoning up, and now it won't charge. I believe what's happening, I believe we got that wire squished when we were trying to put things back together, so I think that's what's going on. Otherwise, there's something wrong with the charge controller. So we got to take this back off and anyways, do some testing. See if I can zoom in here. So basically this wire was squished enough that some of the metal was actually touching here, and that was causing this loop to go bad. So we will fix this section of wire and hopefully everything works.
Language.
And gosh dang it, hopefully everything works. All right, so now it says cell loop okay. So before it said not okay, so we just fixed it, and I'm gonna try charging one more time before we button it up. We're charging again. I will be more careful when putting that lid on. It's cleanup time. I'm sure I'll probably end up giving Zack a tool just because it'll be left here, and I'm sure Zack will give me a few things that I forget to give him. I do know where he lives though. He knows where I live too. I'm gonna put the seat in. That hasn't been in a long time. I also don't know that I've ever seen this one in place, so we'll go ahead and put that one in place. I want to get this looking really good for Zack, but before I washed it, I thought I should really research proper care for a Humvee. I'm happy to say that it stopped charging all on its own. That means the charge is complete. We'll take a look and see how much we've got in the car. It says 442. Again, the gas gauge is pretty much full. So the plan is now I'm going to take this out. I'm going to find kind of a public charger, make sure it works with a public charger. If all goes well there, I will drive it over to Zack's. I'm here at a parking lot with a public charger. Gotta love the electric vehicles only, followed by this guy. That's a good sign. Says we're charging. All the electrics.
So, how do you sum up a series like this? I can tell you that it is as cool as it looks. Everywhere you go, people flock to see and want to know all about it.
What do you think? We're gonna start the journey. Gotta put on my Minion hat, it's gonna be cold.
Driving it is a next level experience.
On the way.
I can't wait to see what Zack does on his channel, and if any need ever arises, I'll be happy to help again. It has been a truly great experience for me, especially for my channel and all you new viewers. So I'm going to take this opportunity to say, subscribe. There's going to be a lot more fun in the next build, and if you haven't seen it yet, the very first video is already out. I'll leave a link right up here. Yes. Woo! Made it.
I am so surprised he drove all the way here on its maiden voyage. That is absolutely amazing. And it's actually working. So impressed. Nice work, man. Tell me why it has mud on it.
I looked up the special instructions, the care instructions for humvee maintenance. So I figured you'd like that.
And there's supposed to be mud on there for the Humvee maintenance?
Well, at first I went to wash it, and I quickly learned that's not how the Humvee is supposed to look.
Especially this one. So with the charger installed, what's my warranty like nowadays?
So it probably has around a 200-mile range, so I'd say for about 200 miles.
Perfect. After that, maybe I'll watch your video and figure out how to fix it. But I'm super impressed that you were able to figure it out.
Happy to help anytime.
Perfect. It's good to be back. Okay, tell me how this works.
Yeah, so go ahead and turn on. Tell me if you like your splash screen.
Dude, that's so perfect. I'm so impressed, man. This is way better. Like, I don't know why I didn't start with this screen. What brand is this?
This is AEM.
Okay. I'm so, like, the odometer thing is something that was bugging me forever. Like, I bought a 12-volt GPS odometer that I was gonna install like somewhere else on the dash because I couldn't find a screen that had it integrated. So I'm pumped that you found one. And is it GPS?
It has the capability, so that's an add-on unit if we want it.
Cool.
But right now it's just tracking per the wheels or per the motor.
Just the RPM, the rotations of it. Sweet, got pack temperatures, motor temperature, inverter temperature, pack voltage, and the RPMs. Dang. So were you scared driving it over here?
I will say it was a little on the sketchy side. I don't know, not really sketchy, just cold. How about that? It's cold.
And what's the fastest you've gone so far?
49.
Okay.
I didn't break 50.
Good. So this Hummer, I don't know if I've explained this on my channel, but when I first got this Hummer, it did work. And I drove it down from a city called Logan, Utah, which is about 2 hours away, give or take. So it has gone 75 miles an hour before, but not since we added all of the goodies. So it'll be interesting to see what this new top speed is if we ever get that brave.
So I'm back from dropping it off from Zack's. What a cool experience. What a cool guy. If you're not subscribed to his channel, please go check it out. This has been an epic series and just grateful for that opportunity, grateful for all the viewers, and we've got more to come. So stay tuned. See you next time.